right, kids love the truck. Go ahead. Over here.
Blow the horn.
Blow the horn. All right. Okay, finally, when I picked up the truck, it had only 40 miles on it, and there you go, 10,000 miles on the truck so far. Now this is why trucking is sometimes rewarding. You get to stop at beautiful places like this. Look at this, Nebraska. Look at it. Is that beautiful or what? Huh? Stop for the night. A nice little place. You get to see beautiful scenery and get some fresh air. Nice. Alright, one of the coolest thing about Prime is that they have terminals, and if you bring your truck in with a trailer, you can get your truck washed for only $10, just cheaper than a car wash actually. So I pulled into Salt Lake City terminal, try to get a car wash, truck wash, so my truck is nice and clean now. But the problem with pulling into a terminal, let me point it toward myself. The problem with pulling into a terminal like Salt Lake or Pittston or stuff like that is that they might find something wrong with your trailer or truck. So when I pulled in, they said the tire is bald on the trailer or something, so they ended up changing the tires on the trailer. All right, that's in 20 minutes, not a big deal. 30 minutes, 20 minutes, I'm like okay with that. But then before I get out of there, they're like, oh, by the way, the reefer belt and seal has some problem. Drop the trailer in the yard and they'll have to fix it, and we'll give you a call when it's ready. So now I dropped my trailer and I'm waiting over here at the terminal. I still am on the load, but got no other choice. So hey guys, look who's here.
Hey everybody, it's Mo and Terry.
All right, man. I was like, I'm at Salt Lake City. Hope I don't know who I'm gonna meet, and I met Terry, and I've been watching his videos, like binging on his videos a lot of times. So he has some amazing content. So
I appreciate that. We pulled in. I've never seen it this empty though.
Yeah, no, I was just like, oh, let me get a truck wash. But when I came into the terminal, they're like, oh, your reefer is not working right and your trailer is not. I was like, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the chance you take.
Yeah.
So. Well, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah,
man.
no, it's great, man. Hey guys, all of my subscribers, whoever's watching my videos, check his videos out. I'm gonna put a link in the description. He's got amazing content, like to the point, concise, and like a wealth of information. So you will really learn a lot from his videos. All right.
Well, thanks, man.
I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate your videos too.
Cool. Thanks. So I'm at the Salt Lake bunk room. This is a little bit different. It has a little dark, but look at this. Ooh. That's so cool. Open up the bed. That's way. So hurry up and wait. All right, so I have a couple of things I want to share. Basically, now that I've been driving for almost a month now, you know, it's already been 4 weeks, so a lot of miles and all that stuff. So getting in a rhythm, getting to know certain things. What I can share is that the way you have to set yourself up is that you don't want to stress about the load, but at the same time you got to be very aware of the times and the distances and all that stuff. What I mean is that you'll pick up a load pre-plan will come in, and you'll look at it. You're like, oh, okay, so it's about 200 miles or 150 miles deadhead, empty to the shipper, and then from the shipper is 700 miles to the destination. So now you know this information. Now you have to arrange yourself with your clock. The reason I'm saying that is because after you drove for 1 or 2 weeks, now you're running on recaps. Basically every night at 12 o'clock, whatever you drove 1 week before on that day comes back to you. So let's say if I drove 10 hours on Monday, right? 8 days later, when the recaps happen, I will get that 10 hours for Monday back. And then the next day, Tuesday, whatever I drove that day, I'll get those hours back on the night. Now the problem happens that what if you got to a shipper and situation happened, load is not ready, so you started driving, you got there, they're like, oh, sorry, we don't have anything ready for you, or something like that, whatever situation happens. Now you have to wait for the whole day, or you have to show up in the night time because they rearranged the timing. So you didn't drive anything that day, maybe 1 hour or 2 hours. What will happen is when the 8 days pass and that day comes along and that day drops off, you only get 2 hours recap for that day. So you have to be aware of what are the hours you're going to be recapping every day so that you can arrange your driving accordingly. And basically your 70-hour clock is your main clock that you're going to be worried about, because once you're doing recaps, you can only drive how many hours is on those 70-hour clock. You can't drive anything more than that. So that puts a limit on how long you can drive and how many hours you can drive and all that stuff. So be very cautious about that and arrange it in a certain way. Oh, okay, well, I have only, let's say, 4 hours coming back tonight. So how many hours can I drive? And then I'll have 4 hours. Now, once I have 4 hours back at midnight for tomorrow, I can only drive 4 hours if you already used up all your other hours. So now the next day, you can only drive 4 hours. And what if you have to deliver your stuff and you drove for 3 hours? Now you only got like half an hour, 1 hour left, and you still got to do a delivery and all that stuff. So these are some of the complicated things that you have to figure out based on how you're running your schedule. I run it very simply. I don't run it very complicated. I run it like boom. I just run as much as I can and just go with the hours how it is. Maybe that's not the best way. I might have to change that a little bit and try to figure out maybe like, okay, I'm not gonna drive all day today. I'll only drive 4 hours or 5 hours because I can drive the rest of the hours tomorrow because I'm not gonna get any recap tomorrow. So things like that. So you have to be aware of that. And mindset, just be positive. Don't worry about some of the shippers I know I go to, they're so happy, smiling and all that stuff. Some of the shippers you're gonna go and you're gonna have like the worst attitude and like, oh, this and that. But that's like in everything in life. It's not going to be only shipping, it's not only going to be trucking. Anywhere you go, you're going to have people who are positive, happy to be there, just doing their job, whatever, and some people are just going to be miserable because they don't want to be there or whatever. So you just have to deal with it just like you deal with it in any industry. So there's nothing unusual about it. I'm going to share a Mo's tip. I think I should make a series of these things like Mo's tip or Mo's hack or something like that. So let me share what my hack is for today. So what I did is you have to fill out this trip sheet every time you drop a load, and then you have to send this trip sheet information with your information. But you have to fill out the same information over and over again. So what I did is I filled out one of it with the information that you have to keep putting over and over again, and I just made 50 copies of it with all that information already filled in. So now what I'll have to do is, once I get the trip, all I'll have to do is write the trip number and the like the information that is variable that changes. Just put that information, and it cuts down my time of filling out the sheet in half or 1/3. Not a big tip, but it's just one of those Mo's hack, I guess. All right, guys, take care. I'll let you know what I'm gonna once I finish with this week. I should have at least 4 paychecks, I guess, that I can go over, and I can do a more of a 1 month scenario of how much revenue was made by the truck, how much gas, how much tolls, expenses, and all that stuff, and I'll be able to do that for you guys. All right, take care, guys.